The unsolved case of the St. Pancras walrus. The mystery of the St. Pancras walrus remains one of the most unusual archaeological discoveries in recent British history. During excavations near London's St. Pancras train station in 2003, researchers uncovered an unexpected and puzzling find. The partial remains of a massive Pacific walrus buried in a coffin alongside 8 human skeletons. Among the human remains were 3 skulls, all dated to around 1822. This baffling combination raised immediate questions that experts have yet to fully answer. The excavation was conducted by a team from Ramble Cultural Heritage and Archaeology under the leadership of archaeologist Phil Emery as part of a larger project tied to the development of the Eurostar terminal at St. Pancras. At first glance, the site appeared to be a typical 19th century burial ground, but the discovery of walrus bones quickly shifted the tone of the investigation. Walruses were not common in England at the time, far from it. In the early 1800s, a creature of such size and appearance would have seemed exotic, almost mythical, especially to those unfamiliar with Arctic wildlife. The walrus remains consisted of 9 large bones from various parts of the body, including parts of the forelimbs and hind limbs, all belonging to an unusually robust animal. Measurements showed that the bones were significantly larger than similar specimens held by the Natural History Museum. These remains were placed in a coffin alongside human bones, a highly unorthodox arrangement for any burial site, religious or otherwise. What deepened the mystery further was the condition of the bones. Both the human and animal remains bore signs of dissection. Cut marks, scrapes, and in one case, evidence of a cranial autopsy indicated that these bones were used for scientific or medical study. Researchers believed that the remains were likely used by one of London's many anatomy schools during the 19th century. At the time, more than 40 such schools operated in the city, each needing bodies and specimens for dissection and study. The inclusion of a walrus in such a collection still raises more questions than it answers. The Anatomy Act of 1832 legalized the use of unclaimed bodies for medical research, but the act came 10 years after the estimated burial date. Moreover, walruses were not easy to acquire, particularly in early 19th century London. How this particular animal ended up in a research collection, and eventually in a coffin, is unknown. Researchers like Emery and Alan Pipe of the Museum of London Archaeology searched through historical zoological records, including those of the London Zoological Society, but found no references that could explain the walrus's presence in the city. In their analysis, published in the book St. Pancras Burial Ground, Emery and Pipe offered detailed descriptions of the bones and their condition. Microscopic examination revealed superficial knife cuts, indicative of butchery or scientific study. These marks, along with surface erosion on the bones, support the theory that the walrus had been part of a teaching collection before being buried with the human remains. Mr. Emery later explained that the placement of the walrus bones among the dissected human skeletons likely reflected the practices of a research institution. Collections used for medical instruction were sometimes interred when they were no longer needed or when schools closed or relocated. The coffin may have been used as a convenient way to bury leftover anatomical materials, without consideration for the uniqueness of the animal included. Despite this plausible theory, the origins of the St. Pancras walrus remain unresolved. How a Pacific walrus, native to Arctic regions, came to be dissected and buried in London during the early 1800s is a question that still has no clear answer. The creature may have been brought to England by sailors or explorers and eventually ended up in the hands of a medical school, but without documented evidence, this remains speculation. Today, the bones of the St. Pancras walrus are housed at the London Archaeological Archive and Research Centre in Hackney, where they continue to intrigue visitors and researchers alike. They stand as a quiet reminder of the strange intersections between science, history, and mystery. While the human skeletons alongside the walrus speak to a well-known chapter of London's medical past, the walrus itself is a symbol of the unanswered, perhaps unknowable stories that remain buried beneath even the most familiar corners of the city. Mysterious insect baffles experts at the Natural History Museum in London. At London's world-renowned Natural History Museum, where over 28 million insects are meticulously catalogued and studied, It takes a truly unusual discovery to raise eyebrows. Yet that's exactly what happened when entomologist Max Barkley came across a curious insect while enjoying a lunch break in the museum's garden. What began as a routine moment quickly turned into a baffling encounter with an unidentifiable species, one that had no clear match within the museum's vast insect archive. Barkley, whose career revolves around identifying and preserving insect species, was surprised to find a creature that defied classification in such a familiar setting. Despite the museum's extensive records and global collections, there was no entry or documentation matching this particular insect. Upon closer examination, the insect bore a resemblance to the American box elder bug, a species known for its distinctive markings and diet of tree sap. Intriguingly, a similar specimen had also been recorded along the Mediterranean coast of France, adding another layer of complexity to its identification. The unexpected discovery led Barkley to consider two possible explanations. One possibility is that the insect belongs to a known species, Roselli, which may have begun feeding on a new type of tree, leading to subtle changes in its appearance or behavior. This kind of ecological adaptation isn't unheard of, especially as environmental conditions shift due to urbanization or climate changes. The other possibility is more intriguing. The insect could represent an entirely different species altogether, one that has either been overlooked or newly introduced into the region. The uncertainty surrounding the insect's origin and classification highlights the ever-evolving nature of biodiversity, even in seemingly well-explored environments like central London. It also reflects the challenges entomologists face as they try to keep pace with changes in the natural world, whether caused by human activity, climate shifts, or accidental species migration. Barkley's discovery serves as a reminder that nature continues to surprise, and that even in a setting as scientifically rich as the Natural History Museum, there are still mysteries waiting to be uncovered. For researchers and enthusiasts alike, the unidentified insect is more than just a scientific curiosity. It is a symbol of how much we still have to learn about the world around us. Mysterious object seen above Shanghai, China. In June 2021, a remarkable and mysterious sighting took place in the skies above Shanghai, China, captivating witnesses and sparking intense speculation. Multiple individuals recorded what appeared to be a massive black triangular object hovering silently in the clouds above the city. What set this incident apart from many previous sightings was the clarity and consistency of the footage, which captured the unidentified object from different angles and by different people, suggesting that it was a real phenomenon witnessed by many. The triangular object remained suspended in the sky for several minutes, unmoving and silent, before seemingly vanishing from sight. Its form was strikingly geometric, an almost perfect triangle that stood out starkly against the overcast sky. Unlike conventional aircraft, the object produced no sound, no visible emissions, and showed no traditional signs of propulsion. For the people who saw it, the sighting was unsettling and deeply memorable. Some described feeling an eerie stillness, as if the object's presence affected the very atmosphere around them. What adds to the intrigue is how similar sightings have been reported around the world for decades. In a testimony from a witness in New York, a nearly identical black triangle was observed drifting silently across the sky. That individual described it as being darker than the night sky itself, with dim white lights at each corner and a pulsing reddish-orange light at its center. Like the object over Shanghai, this craft appeared to move effortlessly and then disappeared suddenly, as if phasing out of existence. These black triangles have become a well-documented category of unidentified aerial phenomena. Witnesses often report them as enormous in size, silent, and capable of unusual flight patterns that defy the known laws of physics. In some cases, they glide slowly and deliberately, while in others, they vanish in the blink of an eye. Despite the global nature of these reports, no country or organization has claimed responsibility or offered a definitive explanation for what these craft might be. One of the most enduring theories suggests that these triangular UFOs may be of advanced origin, possibly piloted by intelligent beings from another world. Proponents of this idea argue that the flight characteristics of the black triangles are far beyond current human technology. The ability to hover silently, move without visible propulsion, and execute seemingly impossible maneuvers implies a level of engineering that remains unknown to conventional science. Furthermore, the sightings are often accompanied by an almost surreal silence, as if the object somehow absorbs or dampens sound in its vicinity. Another possibility, discussed in more grounded circles, is that these objects are part of classified aerospace programs. Some speculate that military organizations may have developed experimental aircraft with advanced stealth and propulsion systems, possibly using exotic technologies not yet made public. However, even this explanation leaves significant gaps. If these were human-made craft, their repeated appearance in civilian airspace, particularly over populated areas like Shanghai, raises questions about intent, safety, and secrecy. Moreover, the silence surrounding these events from official sources adds an air of mystery rather than clarity. The 2021 Shanghai sighting stands as one of the more compelling recent encounters due to the quality of the footage and the number of credible witnesses. It reinforces the idea that these black triangles are not isolated phenomena, but part of a much larger and ongoing mystery that continues to challenge both scientific understanding and public perception. Despite extensive documentation and years of research, the question remains, what exactly are these silent triangular objects drifting across our skies? Navajo park rangers quit their jobs over mysterious encounters. Within the vast and remote landscapes of the Navajo Nation, a number of park rangers have come forward with unsettling encounters that have ultimately led some of them to resign from their posts. These stories, rooted in first-hand experience, paint a chilling picture of mysterious beings that defy natural explanation. Though often whispered about within the community, such encounters are now gaining more attention as officials from the Navajo Nation Police Department openly encourage individuals to speak up. They have assured the public that all accounts will be taken seriously, no matter how unusual they may seem. Among the most disturbing reports are those involving dog-like creatures described as both terrifying and otherworldly. One ranger reported receiving repeated accounts from locals describing beings that resemble large humanoid canines. These entities are said to possess extraordinary speed and an unsettling presence, making them unlike any known animal. Witnesses often speak of these creatures moving in ways that no ordinary dog or wolf could, further fueling speculation about their true nature. One former ranger, who served in the Crown Point area, shared a particularly vivid experience that ultimately influenced his decision to leave his position. While driving during a night shift, he noticed movement beside his vehicle. Thinking it could be a wounded animal, he slowed down for a better look. To his astonishment, the creature continued to keep pace with his vehicle, despite the fact he was traveling at 30 miles per hour. This, he said, was the moment he realized he was not looking at a typical animal. Glancing in his rearview mirror, he saw a large, dog-like figure moving alongside the passenger side of his car. It bumped the vehicle before darting in front of it. The ranger quickly pulled over, switched on his full beams, and tried to get a clearer view. In the brief moment the creature was caught in the light, he estimated its size at around 6 feet in length. Its form was like a fusion between a man and a wolf. Seconds later, the creature vanished into the darkness. Though the encounter lasted only moments, its impact was long-lasting. The ranger admitted that the experience shook him deeply and ultimately led to his resignation. He simply did not want to be in a position to encounter something like that again. While he had previously thought of such stories as folklore or exaggerations, his experience changed his perspective entirely. These types of reports are not isolated incidents. Other rangers and residents across the Navajo Nation have shared similar stories, contributing to a growing body of eyewitness testimony. Investigators and researchers, both local and from beyond the region, have taken interest in the frequency and consistency of these encounters. Though no definitive explanation has been found, many believe that something unexplained is occurring in these lands. The mystery remains unsolved, and those who've experienced these strange events continue to search for answers. For some, like the ranger who left his post, the mystery was too close for comfort. His story stands as a powerful reminder that even in the most familiar surroundings, the unknown may be closer than expected. The mystery of the 1855 Devon footprints. The Great Devon Mystery of 1855 remains one of the most bizarre and unexplained events in English folklore, a strange case that continues to puzzle researchers, historians, and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Often referred to as the devil's footprints, this phenomenon gained notoriety when reports surfaced of unusual hoof-like marks discovered in freshly fallen snow across the countryside of Devon, England. These mysterious tracks appeared overnight after a snowstorm on February 8, 1855, and were reported to stretch over 40 miles, though later investigations suggested the distance could have been more than 100 miles. The sheer scale and detail of the incident have made it one of the most enduring unsolved mysteries in British history. Witnesses at the time described the footprints as cloven, resembling those of a donkey or a goat, yet what made them truly alarming was not just their appearance, but their path. The tracks moved in a near straight line regardless of terrain, leading over the rooftops of houses, through gardens, across rivers, over haystacks, and even entering and exiting drainage pipes no more than 4 inches in diameter. There was no clear beginning or end to the trail, and no breaks, suggesting something had travelled with incredible persistence and speed. The phenomenon defied natural explanation, leading locals to call them the devil's footprints, fearing a supernatural presence had passed through their villages. Adding to the mystery, several people around the area claimed to have seen strange individuals who were unfamiliar to the community during the same time period. These mysterious men were rumoured to be connected to the footprints, with some believing they were omens or supernatural visitors who brought misfortune. This fear spread quickly, especially in deeply religious rural communities. At the time, superstitions were common, and many believed that the devil himself had visited Devon that winter's night. The local press covered the story, drawing attention to the heavy snowfall recorded in various areas, including Exeter, Lyme Regis, and Charmouth. However, what truly captured public imagination was not just the weather, but the impossibility of the tracks themselves. The footprints reportedly passed over barns, trees, roads, and even chimneys, as though the creature or force responsible was unhindered by obstacles that would stop any normal animal or person. People were left astounded, and no known creature in Devon's wildlife could explain the markings. Suggestions of local animals were dismissed, as none were capable of the path or behaviour observed. It wasn't until the 1950s, nearly a century later, that renewed interest in the incident sparked further investigations. Researchers and journalists compiled both first-hand and second-hand accounts, analysing the scope of the footprints and comparing the stories for consistencies. What they uncovered only deepened the mystery. While some early reports suggested the tracks spanned 40 miles, more detailed examinations revealed they had appeared in multiple locations across Devon, possibly reaching distances of 100 miles. The consistent spacing and shape of the prints, often described as being 8 inches long and arranged in a single file line, made it implausible for them to be a hoax carried out overnight. Numerous theories were proposed over the years to explain the phenomenon. One such theory suggested that the marks were made by mice or rats hopping through the snow. However, skeptics quickly pointed out the size and spacing of the prints, as well as their improbable traversal of high rooftops and deep snowdrifts, something no rodent could reasonably accomplish. Another suggestion was that a kangaroo had escaped from a nearby private menagerie or zoo and bounded across the countryside. While creative, this theory was never backed by any real evidence, and the shape of the prints did not match a kangaroo's distinctive hopping pattern. The suggestion of human involvement has also been explored. Some speculate that pranksters might have created the tracks using a metal stamp or prosthetic hoof. However, given the era, the extreme weather conditions, and the massive geographical spread of the footprints, crossing rivers and forests and appearing on isolated rooftops, it's difficult to imagine how such an elaborate hoax could have been executed in a single night without detection. Even more speculative theories link the strange men seen around the time to the phenomenon, proposing that these individuals were somehow responsible. Yet, beyond oral tradition and rumours, no evidence has ever been found to verify their presence or involvement. Despite extensive research, the mystery of the devil's footprints remains unresolved. No one ever witnessed the creature or entity responsible for the tracks. No physical evidence was recovered aside from the markings themselves. What adds to the mystery's allure is the consistency among so many independent reports, coming from different villages and individuals, all describing the same eerie sight. The footprint trail was detailed in letters, personal journals, and newspaper clippings from the time, adding a strong historical record to this chilling anomaly. In the years since, the Great Devon Mystery of 1855 has become part of British legend. It stands as a rare moment in history when nature, or something beyond it, left an indelible mark on the landscape and the imagination of those who experienced it. Whether the result of a bizarre natural occurrence, a forgotten hoax, or something more otherworldly, the event continues to fascinate and perplex. To this day, the Devil's footprints remain a haunting symbol of the unexplained, etched not just into the snow of 1855, but into the legacy of unexplained phenomena across the world. The unsolved mystery of the space roar. The mystery of the space roar remains one of the most baffling and unexplained anomalies in modern astrophysics. Discovered in 2006, the phenomenon refers to an unexpected and extremely powerful radio signal detected coming from deep space. What makes the space roar so perplexing is its immense volume, registering at nearly 6 times louder than what current cosmological models predict. The signal does not originate from any known astrophysical source and challenges the very structure of accepted models of the early universe. With some researchers even speculating the signal may originate from intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations, the mystery surrounding this discovery has only deepened over time. The detection of the space roar came from an instrument known as Arcade, or the Absolute Radiometer for Cosmology, Astrophysics, and Diffuse Emission. This balloon-based observatory was developed by NASA to explore the cosmic radio background, a faint whisper of radio waves left over from the early universe. In July 2006, Arcade was launched from the Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility in Palestine, Texas. It soared to an altitude of 120,000 feet above the densest layers of Earth's atmosphere, where it could collect the most accurate radiation readings free from interference. Arcade was designed to support the lambda cold dark matter model, the prevailing theory for the structure and evolution of the universe. The instrument carried 7 radiometers cooled to nearly absolute zero, allowing it to detect minute fluctuations in radio emissions from space. Over several days, it scanned about 7% of the night sky, collecting what was expected to be standard background radiation data. However, what researchers found instead was anything but standard. The Arcade team, led by Alan Kogut from NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center, was stunned to discover radio emissions that were not only louder than expected, but exponentially so. The signal was nearly 6 times more intense than predicted, raising immediate questions about the source of such powerful emissions. The radiation observed did not match any known patterns from naturally occurring phenomena, such as pulsars, supernova remnants, or fast radio bursts. It also did not appear to be a result of interference from Earth-based equipment or reflection within the atmosphere. As the data was further analyzed, scientists began ruling out all known potential causes. They considered whether clusters of gas in the galactic halo could be bending and amplifying electromagnetic signals, or if faint, undetected galaxies could account for the unexpected noise. But even the most generous assumptions about the number and power of early galaxies couldn't bridge the massive gap between the expected and observed radio wave intensity. As physicist Dale Fixon from the University of Maryland pointed out, even if the entire sky were filled with radio galaxies, it still would not account for the overwhelming signal being detected. The name space roar was soon adopted by the scientific community, referring to the signal's intense volume compared to the quiet hum of expected cosmic background noise. Unlike the cosmic microwave background, which provides evidence of the Big Bang's residual thermal radiation, the space roar seems to indicate an unknown energy source, possibly dating back to the early stages of the universe. But while the CMB matches nearly perfectly with theoretical expectations, the space roar contradicts nearly everything that current models suggest. Some have theorized that this anomaly could point toward entirely new physics or unknown phenomena from the primordial universe. Others have speculated about more speculative ideas, including the presence of artificial transmissions from advanced extraterrestrial civilizations. The signal's persistence, uniformity, and unexplained intensity have certainly led to such ideas being considered, even if only as a last resort in the absence of a conventional explanation. Despite years of study and follow-up investigations, no definitive answer has emerged. There is still no consensus on what exactly is generating the space roar. Some researchers suggest that it might point to previously unknown mechanisms in early star or galaxy formation, while others think it could expose flaws in the current understanding of cosmic evolution itself. More missions and improved instruments may one day provide clarity, but for now, the roar continues to echo across the cosmos, unanswered. The space roar stands as a testament to the enduring mysteries of the universe. It reminds us that even with the most advanced instruments and sophisticated models, space can still surprise us. As scientists continue to explore the skies in search of answers, the space roar remains a loud and compelling mystery, an unresolved piece of the cosmic puzzle that hints there may be far more to discover beyond what we currently know. The mystery of Rebecca Coriam. The mysterious disappearance of Rebecca Coriam continues to disturb and perplex those who knew and loved her, as well as those who have followed the strange circumstances surrounding her vanishing. A bright and energetic 24-year-old from Chester, England, Rebecca was working as a youth activity coordinator aboard the Disney Wonder cruise ship when she suddenly went missing on March 22, 2011. Since that day, the details of her disappearance have been shrouded in uncertainty, raising serious concerns about safety, accountability, and the rights of cruise ship employees. Rebecca was last seen on CCTV footage aboard the ship, wearing loose-fitting men's clothing, appearing visibly distressed, and speaking on an internal phone line in the crew lounge. Once the call ended, she was never seen or heard from again. When she did not show up for her scheduled shift the next morning, the crew was alerted to search the ship. Despite efforts made by Disney staff, and later the Mexican Navy and the United States Coast Guard, Rebecca was not found. Her disappearance seemed to defy explanation. According to Rebecca's father, Mike Coriam, the ship did not follow proper procedures after she was reported missing. He alleged that the vessel did not reverse course or make thorough efforts to search the waters, and that even the areas searched by authorities were based on inaccurate coordinates. Because the Disney Wonder is registered in the Bahamas, the official investigation was handed over to the Bahamian authorities under the international maritime system known as Flags of Convenience. This system allows companies to register ships in foreign countries to reduce regulations and taxes, but in this case, it may have complicated efforts to find the truth. The Royal Bahamas Police Force assigned a single officer, Superintendent Paul Roll, to investigate. Disney arranged for him to fly to Los Angeles on a private jet to board the ship when it returned to port. During his one-day investigation, he reportedly interviewed only 6 out of more than 900 crew members and none of the over 2,000 passengers. Rebecca's family was flown to Los Angeles and met with Disney officials and the ship's captain. They were shown a brief segment of CCTV footage of Rebecca and were told she was likely swept overboard by a rogue wave from Deck 5. However, this explanation raised many questions. Deck 5 is heavily protected by 6-foot-high walls and is located directly in front of the ship's bridge, making it an unlikely place for someone to fall or be carried away by a wave without being seen. A sandal was presented to the family as evidence found near the alleged location, but friends and crew members insisted it did not belong to Rebecca and was labeled with someone else's cabin number. The Coriams left the ship heartbroken, watching the Disney Wonder set out on its next cruise without resolution. Dissatisfied with the investigation, the Coriam family hired Roy Ram, a former Scotland Yard officer, to conduct an independent inquiry. They also sought help from political figures, including Member of Parliament Chris Matheson and former Deputy Prime Minister Lord Prescott. Their independent efforts unearthed troubling discrepancies. Weather reports from the area near Puerto Vallarta, where the ship was located, indicated calm conditions, not the kind of extreme weather that could produce a rogue wave powerful enough to reach over the protective barriers on Deck 5. Ram also discovered that the CCTV footage shown to the Coriams had been misrepresented. Disney claimed it was recorded near Deck 5, but the unedited version revealed the footage was actually taken on Deck 1, far from where Rebecca was supposedly lost. Disney did not provide the family with full access to the original footage, and much of the investigation's documentation remains unavailable to this day. Investigative journalist John Ronson later boarded the Disney Wonder to speak with crew members and investigate further. He encountered resistance and secrecy from those on board. Crew members admitted that they were told not to speak about Rebecca's disappearance and that Disney controlled the narrative tightly. One individual suggested that Disney had far more surveillance footage than had been shared, and hinted that the company likely knew more than it was willing to reveal. While Rebecca was often described by family and the media as cheerful and outgoing, other crew members offered a more nuanced view of her emotional state. One staff member remarked that she had an underlying sadness, which contrasted with the ever-positive image expected of Disney employees. A fellow crew member and romantic partner, Tracy Medley, later came forward with more intimate details. Medley stated that she and Rebecca had been involved in a romantic relationship, along with Medley's boyfriend. She described a complicated and emotional situation and believed that Rebecca may have been overwhelmed in the days leading up to her disappearance. Still, Rebecca's family and close friends firmly believed that she would not have left by choice or harmed herself. Their belief is supported by unanswered questions about possible signs of a struggle. In 2016, investigator Ram discovered a torn pair of shorts among Rebecca's belongings, suggesting a possible confrontation. Additionally, months after she went missing, there was suspicious activity on Rebecca's bank account, as well as a change to her Facebook login. These anomalies only added to the family's suspicion that something far more troubling had occurred. Despite years passing, no official resolution has been reached. The investigation remains open under Bahamian jurisdiction, yet few updates have been made public. For Rebecca's family, the lack of closure has been deeply painful. MP Chris Matheson has publicly stated that there is enough circumstantial evidence to suggest that foul play may have been involved. The case of Rebecca Coriam continues to resonate not only because of the heartbreak it caused, but also because of what it reveals about international maritime law and the limits of justice at sea. Cruise ships operate with a degree of autonomy that can obscure accountability when something goes wrong. For employees like Rebecca, whose workplace is a vast vessel floating in international waters, safeguards may not be as strong as they should be. Rebecca's story is a poignant reminder that behind the glamour of cruise ship vacations, there are real people working under pressure and facing unique challenges. Her disappearance remains one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in modern maritime history. For those who loved her, the search for truth is far from over. The strange case of Fariba Ammani. The mysterious disappearance of Fariba Ammani continues to puzzle both investigators and the public, lingering as a haunting case filled with uncertainty. A 47-year-old Iranian-American woman and Canadian resident, Fariba vanished under suspicious circumstances while aboard a cruise ship traveling between the Bahamas and Florida on February 29, 2012. The incident deeply unsettled her family and raised troubling questions that remain unanswered to this day. Fariba had embarked on the cruise with her partner, Ramiz Golshani. According to her family, she had been hesitant about the trip from the beginning, but agreed to go because the vacation had already been paid for. Her relatives also said that she had been reconsidering the relationship, citing concerns about Golshani's behavior and the direction their partnership was heading. They believed Fariba had been contemplating ending things, which cast an uneasy light over her sudden disappearance. According to Golshani, the evening of February 28th into the early hours of February 29th was uneventful. He claimed to have last seen Fariba around 1 a.m. near a duty-free shop on board the cruise ship. After returning to their cabin alone, he said he went to bed and awoke later to discover that Fariba had not returned. He allegedly searched the ship for about an hour before notifying the crew. Celebration Cruise Lines, the company operating the ship, later stated that Golshani waited a significant amount of time before raising any alarm, a detail that caused further concern among Fariba's family and the public. Her loved ones found the account difficult to accept. Fariba's sister publicly stated that she did not believe her sister simply fell overboard. She was not known to drink or behave recklessly, and her sister insisted that such an accident was highly unlikely. The family also expressed doubts about the narrative that she had simply wandered off or become lost on the ship. These doubts were compounded by what they described as controlling behavior from Golshani and suspicions of infidelity in the relationship. Despite the involvement of authorities and international interest, no concrete evidence has emerged to clarify what truly happened that night. Searches conducted on board and in nearby waters yielded no significant leads, and as the days turned into years, the mystery only deepened. The cruise line and investigators were unable to offer a satisfying explanation, and the case remains unresolved. For Fariba's family, the emotional toll has been immense. Holding on to hope while living with such profound uncertainty is an ongoing struggle. The pain of not knowing what became of their sister, daughter, and loved one is something they carry every day. Each passing year feels like a step further from closure, yet they continue to call for answers and hold on to the belief that truth will someday emerge. Fariba Ammani's disappearance highlights broader concerns about safety on cruise ships, especially when incidents occur in international waters. It also draws attention to how complex and difficult such investigations can become when jurisdictions overlap and potential evidence is limited or inaccessible. While the cruise industry has continued to grow, Fariba's story serves as a sobering reminder that not all vacations end as planned, and that justice for those who vanish at sea is not always within reach. Until more evidence comes to light, or someone steps forward with new information, the case of Fariba Ammani will remain one of the many deeply unsettling maritime disappearances of our time. For her family, each day without answers is a painful reminder of how quickly a life can vanish and how fragile the truth can be in the vast openness of the sea. This unfolding mystery seems to have been plucked straight from the pages of a compelling mystery novel, weaving a web of intrigue and fascination around the mysterious Dr. Ning Lee and her baffling disappearance. Dr. Ning Lee not only resided in Huntsville, but also emerged as a pioneering figure in the realm of anti-gravity experimentation. Following her relocation to the United States from China in 1983, Lee embarked on her professional journey at the Center for Space Plasma and Aeronomic Research within the University of Alabama, Huntsville. Her transition not only signified a geographic move, but also marked a significant shift in her career trajectory. During the period spanning from 1991 to 1993, she gained widespread recognition and sparked controversy due to her involvement in a set of research papers. In her research endeavors, Lee elucidated an innovative and practical approach to generate an anti-gravity field, a feat that had hitherto remained unexplored. The conventional wisdom has long posited that the construction of an anti-gravity apparatus goes against the fundamental laws of nature, deeming it a theoretical impossibility. Despite this entrenched notion, Lee, in collaboration with Douglas Torr, ventured into uncharted territories, postulating ingenious methods to circumvent this steadfast belief through the utilization of a high-temperature superconductor. In a hyperspace field generator, the minuscule gravitational influence of every single atom present is amplified by the countless atoms within the disk. Dr. Lee asserted that by utilizing approximately 1 kilowatt of electrical power, her invention had the capability to generate a protective force field capable of essentially counteracting the effects of gravity within a circular area of about 1 foot in diameter, spanning from the Earth's surface to the outer reaches of space. This innovative technology harnesses the collective gravitational forces of the atomic structure to create a localized gravitational anomaly. In a bid to showcase their scientific endeavors, the researchers extended an invitation to representatives from the esteemed publication Popular Mechanics to pay a visit to their Huntsville laboratory. During this visit, they presented an ongoing project, a 12-inch disc designed as a high-tech stability disc. Once the disc was finalized, they confidently informed the magazine that if a bowling ball is positioned anywhere above this disc, it will remain stationary at that exact spot, without any displacement. This innovative demonstration aimed to highlight the unique capabilities of their high-tech stability disc technology in maintaining the stability and position of objects placed above it, offering a glimpse into the promising applications of their research. In the late 1990s, Dr. Lee made bold assertions about successfully developing operational anti-gravity contraptions, sparking significant interest in scientific circles, as well as gaining widespread coverage in the media. Dr. Lee's groundbreaking claims fueled extensive discussions in various scientific journals and the mainstream press. Subsequently, in 1997, Dr. Lee embarked on furthering her innovative ideas by delving deeper into her concept and executing a series of additional experiments to validate her theories. She took a proactive stance by releasing comprehensive papers that detailed the peculiar alterations in weight observed in objects placed above a rotating superconductor. The notion that her groundbreaking research, termed taming gravity, has the potential to revolutionize the world is a massive understatement. The concept of taming gravity has the power to revolutionize transportation across all spheres. It envisions a future where individuals can effortlessly journey around the globe. Furthermore, this innovation has the capacity to reshape how we fuel transportation systems, fundamentally reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. Not only would it redefine the way we move from one place to another, but it could also usher in a new era of sustainable energy practices. Such a transformation has the potential to significantly impact various aspects of our daily lives, paving the way for a more efficient and environmentally friendly future. After the disappearance of Dr. Ning Lee, the story took a peculiar turn, delving into even more bizarre territories. In 1999, Lee made the significant decision to depart from her position at the University of Alabama in Huntsville to establish her venture, AC Gravity, with the ambition of bringing to market a device grounded in her innovative theories. Her peers, particularly Larry Smalley, the esteemed chair of the physics department at the University of Alabama in Huntsville, demonstrated remarkable faith in her vision, as he also chose to leave the academic realm to join her in this entrepreneurial endeavor. Noteworthy records indicate that by 2001, the United States Department of Defense awarded AC Gravity a substantial grant amounting to $448,000 to conduct research on the technology developed by Lee. Despite the infusion of funding and efforts invested, it is worth noting that the findings and outcomes of this research initiative never saw the light of publication. Over time, Dr. Lee refrained from publishing any additional work following a certain period. Despite the consistent renewal of AC Gravity's business license up to 2018, there exists no documented evidence of the company engaging in further projects or endeavors beyond this timeframe. Lee's professional trajectory post-2002 remains shrouded in ambiguity, sparking intrigue and speculation among researchers and enthusiasts alike. A thorough investigation conducted by Barely Sociable unearthed a pivotal piece of evidence, a documented record revealing her participation in the esteemed 2003 MITRE conference. The title of her presentation, Measurability of AC Gravity Fields, showcased her continued engagement in groundbreaking research endeavors. Noteworthy is the fact that the MITRE Corporation, known for overseeing federally funded research projects for various US government bodies, provided the platform for Lee's presentation. During this significant event, she shared the stage with a distinguished representative from the US Army Aviation and Missile Command at Redstone Arsenal, underscoring the ongoing relevance and application of her research initiatives. After Lee's final documented communication in May 2003, the trail regarding her whereabouts goes cold. It culminated in a private email she sent to her colleagues, wherein she mentioned conducting an experiment that resulted in an 11 kilowatts of output effect. The true significance of this output remains shrouded in mystery, leaving many questions unanswered about the nature of the experiment and its implications. Despite the intriguing nature of the claim, the details surrounding the experiment and the context in which it took place are sparse. In 2004, the noticeable absence of Dr. Ning Lee prompted journalist Tim Ventura to reach out to Eugene Podkletnov, a fellow scientist in the field. Ventura's persistence in trying to contact Dr. Lee was evident through his periodic emails to an address provided by Podkletnov. Despite receiving read receipts indicating that someone was monitoring the emails sent to Dr. Lee, Ventura expressed his frustration at never receiving any responses. The repeated attempts to establish communication with Dr. Lee underscored the mystery surrounding her unresponsiveness, leaving both Ventura and Podkletnov puzzled about the reasons behind her silence. This exchange between Ventura and Podkletnov sheds light on the elusive nature of Dr. Lee's whereabouts and the intrigue surrounding her lack of communication despite being aware of incoming messages. Following Podkletnov's inquiry, he assured Ventura about her good health status and ongoing collaboration with the Department of Defense, yet mentioned the confidentiality surrounding her current projects. As time progressed, discussions about the whereabouts of Lee gained momentum, accompanied by the proliferation of various theories. In the month of July in 2008, an individual known as Jack Sarfati, who is a scientist, delivered a notably concerning update during an interview. This interview was subsequently shared on YouTube and featured in a video produced by Barely Sociable. The revelations made by Sarfati added another layer of complexity to the ongoing speculation and intrigue surrounding Lee's mysterious disappearance. In the interview, Sarfati stated that Lee had ceased her employment with the Department of Defense and relocated to China to pursue her professional endeavors. This assertion, revealed in the interview transcript, underscores the gravity of the accusation made against Lee. According to Sarfati, the disappearance of the key scientist, Ning Lee, is of significant importance concerning both national security and political implications. Notably, Ning Lee, a Chinese researcher who had been actively engaged in scientific endeavors at NASA and the Redstone Arsenal, has been missing for several years now, with all attempts to locate her proving futile. Recent information suggests that she may have returned to China, where there are efforts underway to support similar scientific experiments with substantial financial backing. This development has piqued the interest of intelligence agencies who are closely monitoring the situation. It is believed that the Chinese government is investing resources in research related to anti-gravity propulsion technology, making them potential frontrunners in this field. This scenario has raised concerns within the Pentagon and has prompted a thorough investigation into the circumstances surrounding Ning Lee's sudden departure and the subsequent shift in research focus towards anti-gravity technologies by Chinese counterparts. The implications of these findings have far-reaching consequences, warranting a comprehensive review and analysis to better understand the geopolitical and security implications of these emerging developments in the scientific community. After the conclusion of Sarfati's interview, the video featuring Ning Lee abruptly concludes, without providing any definitive information about her professional endeavors post-2002. Eager to unravel the mystery, many people re-watched the footage, embarking on a quest to uncover the continuation of her intriguing narrative. Over the past couple of years, numerous online articles have surfaced. Among these publications, an obituary commemorating the life of Dr. Ning Lee was specifically featured on the Berry Hill Funeral Home website, revealing the heartbreaking news of her passing on July 27, 2021. Nonetheless, her obituary disclosed no further details on her vanishing. The obituary commemorates Dr. Lee, a pioneering scientist in superconductivity and anti-gravity research who passed away at the age of 79. Dr. Lee's groundbreaking achievements included developing the world's first high-temperature superconducting device measuring 12 inches in the late 1990s. Given that Berry Hill Funeral Home operates within Huntsville, it can be reasonably inferred that the allegations suggesting Lee's departure to China were inaccurate. Despite this, a significant number of individuals expressed skepticism regarding the authenticity of the obituary and opted to uphold a variety of theories instead. These doubts and speculations shed light on the complexities surrounding the circumstances of Lee's purported disappearance and the subsequent dissemination of information. In the detailed obituary, George Guangyu Men was mentioned alongside his descendants. Following extensive research efforts, online users successfully uncovered George's registration of an LLC in the city, as well as the contact number associated with his business. Despite facing some hesitation, Noah Logan, a researcher, was fully committed to his quest at that point and not willing to abandon it. Subsequently, he mustered the courage to reach out to George. Upon their initial conversation, they acquainted themselves with each other, leading to George kindly extending an invitation for him to visit his residence and engage in a conversation regarding his late mother. George mentioned that although nobody had previously contacted him via phone, Noah was not the first person to reach out regarding the subject matter. He has received numerous correspondences from individuals based in New Zealand and other locations, all seeking further insights into Dr. Lee's research. George had a vague understanding that there was ongoing interest in his mother, but he underestimated the true extent of this curiosity. To provide clarity, Noah presented videos to him and his two children in the comfort of his living room, showcasing some of the online discussions surrounding the topic. This presentation allowed George to shed light on several speculations that have lingered over the years. Of utmost importance, it was confirmed that Dr. Lee remained within the Department of Defense and had not ventured abroad to work for the Chinese government. Interestingly, a particular detail corresponded with Sarfati's 2008 interview, aligning with previous information. Through this thorough exploration, George was able to dispel misconceptions and address the inquiries concerning his mother, providing valuable insights into her professional endeavors and dispelling any inaccurate assumptions. George recounted an incident from 2008 when Chinese officials visited his mother during a visit by members of the Chinese Party to the United States. The officials tried persuading her to return to China to resume her previous work, but Lee was unwavering in her decision. Having relocated with George in the late 1980s, she was firmly rooted and had no intentions of leaving her established life behind. Despite her strong ties to the United States, Lee did consider going back for her mother's funeral upon her passing. Unfortunately, George revealed that she was ultimately prohibited from doing so, emphasizing the emotional complexity of their situation. This poignant anecdote sheds light on the enduring bond between Lee and her adopted country, showcasing her unwavering commitment even in the face of personal loss and bureaucratic obstacles. Upon reminiscing about her time at university, he fondly recalled how delighted she was in disseminating her research findings. However, a noticeable shift occurred after she acquired top-secret clearance, which restricted her from openly sharing her work with others, leading to a significant decrease in her outgoing nature. Her demeanor transformed, evident in her subdued presence upon returning home from work, marked by a tired appearance and disheveled makeup. This stark contrast from her vibrant university days left him reflecting on the impact of professional constraints on her spirit. The transition to a more reserved and secluded persona highlighted the repercussions of stringent confidentiality measures on her overall demeanor and communication patterns. In an effort to gain insights into her work, Noah submitted requests under the Freedom of Information Act to obtain the outcomes of her 2001 grant, as well as any subsequent research endeavors. Regrettably, not only were his requests denied, but similar pleas from other individuals faced the same fate. Consequently, it appears that uncovering the specifics of her research post-2002 will remain a daunting challenge for the foreseeable future. This impasse in accessing crucial information sheds light on the enduring mystery surrounding her research activities beyond that period. Upon conversing with George, it becomes evident that he continues to deeply admire his mother. His profound respect and reverence for her shine through in every word and expression he shares. Dr. Lee dedicated her days to working at Redstone Arsenal until the year 2014, when she was involved in an incident on the University of Alabama in Huntsville campus, being struck by a vehicle while crossing the street. This unfortunate accident had profound and long-lasting repercussions on her family. Upon witnessing his wife of 46 years being thrown from the impact, Dr. Lee's husband suffered a heart attack. Despite medical efforts, he tragically passed away a year later in 2015. The repercussions of this event reverberated deeply within their family, leaving a significant impact that affected them both emotionally and physically. In the face of this profound loss, the family endured a period of immense grief and adjustment. George experienced a profound impact when the accident left Lee with irreversible brain damage that eventually led to her developing Alzheimer's disease shortly thereafter. Supporting his mother through the final 6 challenging years of her life until her passing in 2021, George faced immense emotional and physical strains. Witnessing a family member succumb to Alzheimer's is a deeply distressing ordeal, made even more poignant by his intimate knowledge of Lee's former intellect and the significance it held for her. Questions remain regarding Lee's work, with many asking what it was she was working on during her career and why Freedom of Information Act requests have been denied. A researcher affiliated with Ohio University has recently proposed an intriguing theory regarding the images captured on Mars, suggesting that there could be compelling evidence of potential life forms within these photographs. Dr. William S. Ramosa, a distinguished entomologist with an impressive 45 years of expertise in insect studies, has dedicated a considerable amount of time meticulously examining images captured by NASA of the enigmatic Martian terrain. Throughout his extensive analysis, Dr. Ramosa asserts the existence of a multitude of intriguing structures, resembling insects on the red planet. The distinguished professor, who at the time was specializing in medical entomology at Ohio University, is of the opinion that the visual representations portray exoskeletons and articulated appendages of these living entities. This compelling evidence supports the classification of these life forms as resembling insects. The intricate structures observed in the images strongly suggest their insect-like nature. The individual additionally asserts that certain specimens, as depicted in the images, seem to have rotated towards the camera, suggesting a deliberate orientation for the viewer's perspective. Analysis conducted by Ramosa suggests that Mars has sustained life both in the past and currently. He pointed out that the images captured indicate the presence of both fossilized remains and active living organisms on the red planet. He said that the Martian insect-like fauna exhibit a notable variety, showcasing characteristics reminiscent of earthly insects, which are identified as evolved species. This includes notable similarities, such as the presence of wings, the ability to flex wings, agile gliding or flight, and differently structured leg components. He added that the examination of the Martian insect-like creatures reveals a fascinating array of features that parallel those found in insects on Earth, suggesting a level of advancement in their evolutionary development. Utilizing the database accessible from the NASA Jet Propulsion Laboratory, he accessed a plethora of raw images and meticulously created panoramic mosaics. These images were meticulously collected over numerous years from various missions to Mars, with the majority originating from NASA's Curiosity rover. The compilation process involved integrating images captured from different angles and at various times to create detailed and comprehensive panoramic views of the Martian surface. In his investigation, Ramosa delved into various aspects including the significant deviation from the environment, the distinct clarity of shapes, symmetry of the body, segmentation of body parts, repetition of forms, skeletal remnants, and scrutiny of forms near each other. This analysis involved a thorough examination of the pronounced contrast with the surroundings, the precise definition of shapes, and the balance in the body structure. He also mentioned that the stance, signs of movement, flying behavior, perceived engagement based on relative placements, and gleaming eyes were indicative of the existence of living entities. Upon identifying and articulating a distinct visual representation of a specific form, Ramosa highlighted the significance of this process in aiding the recognition of additional obscure, yet equally valid depictions of the fundamental form. This means that having a precise understanding and depiction of a particular form can greatly assist in discerning and acknowledging other representations that may not be as clear initially, but are still valid interpretations upon further examination. An arthropod can be identified based on possessing an exoskeleton and jointed appendages. In the realm of earthly biology, the presence of 3 distinct body regions, a solitary set of antennae, and a total of 6 legs has long been the hallmark traits utilized to classify an organism as an insect. He said that these characteristics should likewise be valid to identify an organism on Mars as insect-like. In numerous instances captured in the images, a unique and distinguishable pattern of flight behavior was observed among the subjects. These entities bore a striking resemblance to the bumblebees or carpenter bees commonly found on our planet Earth. Upon closer examination, it became evident that their movement in flight displayed characteristics reminiscent of the familiar behaviors exhibited by earthly bees. Ramosa purported that among the various images were depictions of bees within their dwelling places, along with fossilized beings bearing a resemblance to a serpent. In an extensive analysis conducted by Ramosa, he examined a potential reptile-like fossil in relation to a snake found on Earth. The fossil specimen reveals a detailed glimpse of the snake's anatomical features, including its distinctive beady eyes, 2 front nostrils, and intriguingly, the presence of an insect within its mouth. Throughout a distinguished career spanning 45 years as a professor of entomology at Ohio University and as a co-founder of the Tropical Disease Institute there, Ramosa made significant contributions to the field. His expertise extended to spending close to 2 decades conducting research on vector-borne diseases as a visiting scientist at the U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Infectious Diseases. Between the years 1973 and 1998, he played a pivotal role in the creation and enhancement of 4 editions of the renowned textbook titled The Science of Entomology. Renowned scientist Ramosa pointed out that the perceptions surrounding the insect and reptile-like beings he outlined on Mars might shift as our understanding of Martian life advances. He emphasized that despite potential evolution in interpretations, the extensive body of evidence remains highly persuasive. Further exploration and discoveries on Mars have the potential to reshape our views on the nature and existence of these intriguing creatures. The assertion that the existence of more complex multicellular organisms on Mars suggests the existence of essential nutrient and energy supplies, biological processes, interconnected food chains and webs, and the availability of water as crucial components operating within a potentially sustainable yet harsh ecological environment conducive to supporting life was articulated. This statement implies that for life to persist on the Martian surface, a complex interplay of resources, energy flows, ecological interactions, and fundamental elements like water need to be present. He said that upon his observations, he has noted various occurrences that imply the presence of stagnant water or minor water channels exhibiting distinct winding characteristics. These features include the anticipated distortion of small submerged rocks, the visibility of larger rocks protruding at the boundary between air and water, a dampened area along the bank, and a subsequent dry patch extending beyond the moist region. These indications suggest the existence of standing bodies of water, possibly indicating a combination of natural elements, such as meandering streams or stagnant pools. Water presence on Mars has been a subject of multiple reports, with instances of surface water being identified through the sophisticated instruments aboard missions, such as Viking, Pathfinder, Phoenix, and Curiosity. In an ambitious scientific endeavor, NASA has scheduled the launch of a cutting-edge rover mission to Mars in the year 2020. The primary objective of this groundbreaking mission is to meticulously explore the enigmatic red planet in search of compelling evidence indicating the existence of life forms. The region under discussion harbored a significant lake approximately 3.5 billion years ago, which has left behind a plethora of carbonates and hydrated silica as remnants. Carbonates present within the inner rim of the crater have displayed remarkable resilience, as evidenced by their preservation in Earth's fossils over extended periods spanning billions of years. Furthermore, explorations in the Delta region have unveiled the presence of hydrated silica, renowned for its capacity to effectively safeguard biosignatures. The Mars 2020 mission, as communicated by NASA, is dedicated exclusively to the field of astrobiology, which revolves around the exploration of life across the vast expanse of the universe. Advocates supporting this hypothesis assert that specific formations observed on the Martian terrain exhibit a remarkable similarity to insects found on Earth, displaying characteristics like distinct body segments and limb-resembling protrusions. On the opposing end, skeptics counter these claims by attributing the perceived insect shapes to geological phenomena such as erosion, wind action, and sedimentary processes. This faction argues that these formations lack conclusive evidence of organic composition or biological origins, underscoring the ongoing dispute without a definitive resolution in sight. The discourse between proponents and skeptics adds layers of complexity to the exploration of potential extraterrestrial life on the Red Planet, fueling further investigations and discussions within the scientific community. The enigmatic existence of unidentified flying objects has perpetually captivated the interests of proponents, doubters, and scholars, sparking extensive discussions and conjecture. A particularly fascinating facet of this occurrence is the documented instances of unidentified objects being observed in close proximity to the Sun. These sightings have piqued considerable interest and prompted extensive research into the nature and origins of these mysterious objects. The observations of these phenomena have sparked a multitude of hypotheses regarding the potential explanations for these events. On the 23rd of July 2020, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory LASCO satellite, operated by NASA, captured a mesmerizing object close to the Sun. During this spectacular phenomenon, an unusual anomaly briefly manifested within the solar flare. This incident provided a unique and intriguing insight into the intricacies of solar activity, prompting further examination and analysis to comprehend the nature of such rare occurrences. The item was characterized as resembling a sleek aircraft and was compared to a classified Black Project aircraft, and it was noted for its resemblance to a slender aerial vehicle. At present, there is significant confusion among the public regarding the identity of the object. One user has highlighted that the object in question does not align with the usual entities detected by the NASA Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. This observation suggests that the object deviates from the expected norm of captured objects. Reports of enigmatic phenomena in close proximity to the Sun have been documented for numerous years, with accounts dating back to as early as the mid-1900s. These sightings, which have persisted over decades, continue to intrigue and puzzle both scientists and the general populace. Sightings of unidentified objects frequently entail the observation of entities that seem to be navigating at considerable velocities or executing intricate maneuvers in close proximity to the Sun's periphery. These phenomena have piqued the interest of astronomers and scientists alike, prompting further research. In numerous instances, celestial bodies of this nature are detected by amateur stargazers or recorded in photographs and videos obtained by solar observation satellites, for example, NASA's Solar and Heliospheric Observatory. Such occurrences are frequently the subject of observation and documentation by individuals with a keen interest in astronomy, as well as those interested in the unknown. Lately, a specific image has stirred up a commotion on the internet, leaving numerous individuals uncertain about its significance and source. The photo has sparked widespread curiosity, leading to various interpretations and speculations regarding the origins of the object. Observers who viewed the image noted the presence of a sleek, dark object in close proximity to the Sun. Oddly, there have been previous sightings of circular objects near the Sun, prompting researchers to speculate that this anomaly might be of extraterrestrial origin, positing the intriguing possibility that it could be an advanced civilization's probe sent to examine potential indicators of life on Earth, a concept analogous to our present exploration of other celestial bodies within the solar system. These occurrences have led to thought-provoking discussions within the scientific community, raising questions about the potential existence of intelligent life beyond our planet and its potential interstellar activities. This phenomenon has sparked a profound curiosity among researchers, driving them to contemplate the implications of detecting such advanced technological artifacts and the profound impact they could have on our understanding of the universe. Several interpretations have been put forward regarding the identity of this object, encompassing a wide spectrum of theories extending from sun anomalies to sophisticated forms of activity. These propositions seek to shed light on a mysterious entity that has captured scientific intrigue, prompting investigations into its potential origins. Some people speculate that these enigmatic entities harness the energy of the Sun to power their space vehicles, possibly shedding light on the regular sightings in close proximity to the Sun. This hypothesis offers a plausible explanation for the recurring presence of these objects near our solar system's primary source of energy. Indeed, experts in the field of science have recognized and accepted the notion that the expanse of space is of such immense magnitude that it surpasses the grasp of the human mind. An alternative scenario could involve the potential use of our Sun as a portal by an advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Some individuals who harbor skepticism regarding the phenomenon conjecture that its discovery may be attributed to a mere sunspot. The diverse range of forms and dimensions of the unidentified entities sighted in proximity to the Sun has given rise to conjecture regarding their source and objectives. The extensive array of shapes and dimensions observed in the unidentified objects near the Sun has sparked theories about their origins. Some individuals have depicted these unidentified objects as having a metallic composition and a disc-like shape. Conversely, there are accounts of sightings detailing craft that resemble cigars or triangles. The wide range of these reports has given rise to various hypotheses, spanning from sophisticated extraterrestrial visits to clandestine government undertakings. There is a prevalent belief within the UFO community suggesting that the unidentified objects observed in close proximity to the Sun might be sophisticated spacecraft operated by advanced life forms. Advocates of this notion put forth the argument that highly advanced alien societies could potentially be harnessing the Sun's boundless energy for a multitude of purposes, including propelling their spacecraft or fueling state-of-the-art extraterrestrial technology. Although this hypothesis has garnered significant attention from certain UFO researchers, it is crucial to note that it primarily rests on conjecture and lacks substantial empirical evidence to substantiate its claims. Skeptics maintain the viewpoint that numerous sightings of unidentified flying objects in close proximity to the Sun are attributable to natural occurrences like solar flares, coronal mass ejections, and sunspots. These celestial incidents have the capacity to generate atypical configurations and designs when observed from a distance, contributing to misconceptions among onlookers who may misidentify them as unfamiliar entities. Another feasible rationale for the occurrence of UFO sightings in proximity to the Sun relates to image anomalies or visual distortions. The imagery captured by solar monitoring satellites like SOHO can occasionally exhibit irregularities stemming from the imaging techniques comprising lens flare, visual distortions, or data compression inaccuracies. These irregularities might be misconstrued by observers as unidentified flying objects. Furthermore, when solar observation satellites capture images, a range of factors such as lens flare, image noise, and data compression errors might lead to the creation of artifacts, which could potentially be misinterpreted as UFOs. The examination of unidentified flying object sightings in close proximity to the Sun poses significant challenges, primarily because of the inherent difficulty in accessing reliable data and the absence of conclusive evidence. The intense radiation and heat emitted by the Sun creates a nearly insurmountable barrier for traditional telescopes to effectively observe any objects in its immediate vicinity. Moreover, the overwhelming majority of these sightings are predominantly rooted in anecdotal evidence, which is susceptible to various influencing factors such as misperception, memory distortion, and cognitive biases. This makes it a complex and intricate undertaking to ascertain the legitimacy and actuality of such occurrences. The abundant speculation surrounding UFO sightings near the Sun poses a significant challenge for researchers aiming to conduct thorough, unbiased analysis. The absence of agreement among researchers and the widespread promotion of sensational claims in the mainstream media have significantly hindered scientific efforts to comprehensively study this phenomenon. This situation has made it increasingly arduous for researchers to approach this subject with the requisite level of scientific rigor, leading to a dearth of credible and well-substantiated studies in this area. The observation of unidentified flying objects in close proximity to the Sun is a captivating and mysterious subject, which has only gained more traction over the years as more and more of these strange objects have been detected by NASA technology. The wide array of documented phenomena and the myriad interpretations aimed at elucidating these occurrences underscore the enduring intrigue surrounding the prospect of extraterrestrial existence and advanced alien technology. Despite the absence of definitive explanations, the examination of UFO sightings near the Sun serves as a testament to humanity's unyielding curiosity about unexplored frontiers and the pursuit of comprehension regarding the enigmas that pervade our cosmos. This exploration not only reflects our innate inclination to uncover the unfamiliar, but also embodies our quest to fathom the enigmatic aspects of the universe that envelop us. The extensive repository of solar and heliospheric observatory images is open to everyone, providing the opportunity for intriguing findings to unfold gradually. Lately, a specific image has sparked considerable interest, leaving numerous individuals uncertain about its significance. This library offers an in-depth collection of images from the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, making it possible for researchers and enthusiasts alike to make new and captivating discoveries over time. Through careful observation, a substantial phenomenon generating an energy ripple has captured our attention. Numerous theories have emerged in an attempt to explain this occurrence, encompassing hypotheses related to solar irregularities, such as sunspots, abnormalities on the Sun, and even speculations about extraterrestrial involvement. There is a theory suggesting that UFOs harness the energy of the Sun to power their spacecraft, potentially shedding light on the multitude of sightings near the Sun. Furthermore, even scientists have admitted that the expanse of space is so immense that it surpasses human understanding. Another hypothesis proposes that an intelligent extraterrestrial civilization could be utilizing our Sun as a portal of some kind. Substantiated by accounts of objects observed entering and exiting the Sun, the concept of our solar system serving as a conduit for an advanced species is not without intrigue. In contrast to the skeptics who dismiss the phenomenon, some experts speculate that the startling discovery may just be a sunspot. While meticulously scrutinizing solar data, a group of eminent Japanese astronomers stumbled upon an enormous sunspot hosting an exceptionally robust magnetic field, ultimately proving to be the most potent on the Sun's expansive surface. Their exhaustive research and analysis ultimately led them to the deduction that the efflux of gas from one sunspot was exerting force against another, thus giving rise to the formation of the remarkably intense magnetic field. This elucidation provides a compelling and plausible account for the observed celestial occurrences. It has been suggested that these entities would be unable to approach the Sun due to its extreme temperatures. The Sun's core can generate temperatures exceeding 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. The process of nuclear fusion occurs when hydrogen atoms merge and create helium. The photosphere, where visible light from the Sun is detected, has a temperature of roughly 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Due to the immense heat and radiation, it is believed that nothing can come too close to the Sun without being incinerated. Alternative explanations propose that the anomalies seen may be space debris or mere illusions. In the picturesque landscapes of rural America, where vast fields and undulating hills stretch as far as the eye can see, lived a diligent farmer by the name of John. For generations, the man said that his family had worked the land, tending to their crops and livestock with care and dedication. After an unusual incident occurred above his property several years ago, he began experiencing frequent visitations from enigmatic beings. These mysterious creatures would appear to him unexpectedly, adding an element of intrigue and uncertainty to his life. The individual proceeded to elaborate on the entities, characterizing them as resembling slender human-like figures. Additionally, he highlighted their tendency to draw near the premises under the veil of night, emphasizing the nocturnal aspect of their activities. Despite the recurrence of these interactions, he was acutely aware of the necessity to take action. In a strategic move, he made the choice to install a state-of-the-art surveillance system to monitor the entire premises meticulously and gather concrete proof of the ongoing activities. This decision was driven by the necessity to acquire undeniable visual documentation of the events unfolding in the area. Despite the ongoing occurrences of sightings, the surveillance camera often failed to capture the entities, as per his assertion that the resulting photographs would be excessively blurry. This led to a lack of concrete evidence to support the claims of these sightings. The inconsistent performance of the security camera hindered the documentation and validation of these mysterious events. After making significant investments in advanced agricultural machinery, the farmer was able to successfully snap a satisfactory image of the issue that had been causing trouble on his land. By upgrading to state-of-the-art equipment, the farmer enhanced his ability to capture clear and detailed photographs of the events that unfolded on his farm. Settling down in front of his computer late at night, he embarked on the task of meticulously examining the recordings captured by his surveillance cameras. The dim glow of the screen illuminated his focused expression as he delved into the extensive footage, meticulously analyzing each frame. As he meticulously reviewed the video footage with rapt attention, his eyes expanded in astonishment as he beheld an extraordinary being that defied all prior encounters, challenging his understanding of the natural world. In an examination of its physical attributes, the entity was supported by a pair of elongated, slender legs, while its torso appeared contorted and bony, featuring extended arms. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and its mouth twisted into a sinister grin as it prowled through the darkness, its movements unnaturally swift and graceful. Each instance of these encounters left him perplexed, observing with bewilderment as the mysterious creature stealthily prowled through his vast fields. The repeated occurrences of these unsettling visits filled him with a sense of unease, stating that he was worried as each time they were sighted, they were getting closer and closer to the property. Before any potential harm could be inflicted upon his property or loved ones, he was fully aware of the urgent need to take prompt action. Venturing out armed, he embarked on a mission to boldly face the mysterious entity and compel it to retreat. The determination gleamed in his eyes as he sought to confront the creature head-on, ready to take a stand against the unknown threat. As the farmer traversed the vast expanse of his fields, a sense of unease crept over him as he perceived the piercing gaze of a mysterious entity fixated on his every action, exuding a predatory aura. The farmer's senses heightened, discerning a presence lurking amidst the crops, its intent scrutinizing his movements with a palpable intensity. In a state of heightened vigilance, he proceeded carefully, keenly aware of his surroundings, actively scanning for any indication of the creature's presence. Gradually advancing, an unexpected rustling emanated from the adjacent cornfield, signaling the proximity of the elusive being. His every sense was attuned to the slightest movement or sound, ready to react to any potential threat that might emerge from the shadows. Upon firing a cautionary round, he initially believed he had struck the creature, triggering a moment of uncertainty as the shot echoed through the area. As he readied himself to face the creature directly, he found himself standing in an expansive, vacant field, devoid of any sign of the elusive being. In a state of bewilderment and disorientation, he frantically scoured his surroundings in a desperate attempt to find even the slightest indication of its existence. However, it had disappeared completely, leaving no traces behind. With a steadfast resolve to prevent the elusive creature from getting away, he made his way back to his residence and meticulously scrutinized the security footage once again. His primary aim was to potentially capture another sighting of this mysterious being. In a meticulous effort to ensure no detail was missed, he engaged in a thorough examination of the security recordings. As he observed the video footage intently, a peculiar revelation caught his attention, a distinctive rhythm in the creature's actions, a systematic approach within its seemingly chaotic behavior. The entity appeared inexplicably attracted to specific zones within the field, almost akin to a deliberate quest for a yet unearthed purpose. The farmer emphasized that the particular incident remains the most compelling piece of evidence he possesses concerning the ongoing events on his land. He remains steadfast in his quest to locate the elusive creature, aiming to bring closure to the distressing situation permanently. The farmer's determination to unravel the mystery and put an end to the unsettling occurrences underscores his unwavering resolve in the face of uncertainty. Interestingly, there's no shortage of stories involving these creatures. In the intriguing domain of cryptozoology, where the lines between fiction and reality become indistinct, a particular entity emerges as exceedingly notable: the Rake. This enigmatic being, known for its horrifying visage and unsettling aura, has fascinated both believers and skeptics alike. The Rake is described as a human-like figure, possessing pallid, smooth skin and long, claw-tipped limbs, instilling dread in those who cross its path within the remote wilderness. The mythical figure known as the Rake has a rich history that spans centuries, with stories about its existence being relayed from one generation to the next through the prism of folklore and oral narratives. In ancient eras, various indigenous communities shared accounts of a malevolent being that dwelled deep within the forest, waiting to prey upon unsuspecting travelers and instill fear in the hearts of anyone who crossed its path. Although the specifics of these tales may differ depending on the cultural context, the core essence of the Rake remains consistent: a malevolent and supernatural being that embodies humanity's deepest and most chilling fears, leaving a lasting imprint on the collective psyche of those who encounter its legend. This enigmatic entity continues to capture the imagination and curiosity of many, reflecting our enduring fascination with the mysterious and the unknown. The legend of the Rake serves as a poignant reminder of the boundless power of storytelling to weave intricate narratives that transcend time, culture, and boundaries. The Rake, a figure with roots tracing back to folklore and mythology, gained popularity in the early 2000s, capturing broad interest as numerous accounts of sightings and interactions proliferated across online forums and social networking sites. What stood out significantly was the remarkable uniformity in the descriptions provided of the creature's physical characteristics and demeanor. This consistency led a substantial number of individuals to entertain the possibility of authenticity behind these narratives. Delving deeper into the subject reveals a fascinating intersection between age-old tales and contemporary digital platforms, sparking intense discussions and fueling a resurgence of interest in this enigmatic entity. In the realm of evidence supporting the existence of the legendary creature known as the Rake, a particularly persuasive body of proof emerges from a collection of blog entries and online discussions that trace back to the year 2005. These online sources recount the unsettling experiences of an individual named Brian, who vividly recounts his chilling encounters with this enigmatic being. Brian asserts encountering the Rake multiple times in the vicinity of his rural residence in upstate New York. His narratives depict the Rake as a mysterious entity that would materialize under the cover of darkness, silently moving through the shadows while fixating its intense gaze upon him, only to abruptly disappear without a trace. The intricate and emotive nature of Brian's descriptions, accentuated by the evident fear and raw emotion embedded in his accounts, substantially bolsters the plausibility that his encounters transcended the boundaries of conventional understanding. Through Brian's detailed chronicles, the inexplicable nature of these encounters with the Rake acquires a depth that hints at a reality far beyond the ordinary, delving into the unsettling realm where truth melds with the unknown. Numerous additional accounts of sightings and interactions with the enigmatic entity known as the Rake have surfaced globally since then. These reports span across diverse geographical locations, ranging from the thick woodlands of North America to the secluded expanses of Scandinavia. Witnesses have depicted the creature as towering between 6 to 8 feet in height, possessing a slender, malnourished physique, and showcasing luminous eyes that appear to penetrate the deepest shadows. It is often described as possessing remarkable agility and swiftness, capable of disappearing instantaneously, leaving behind no discernible traces. The mystique surrounding the Rake continues to captivate the imagination of those who delve into the realm of cryptids and unexplained phenomena, adding another layer to the tapestry of unexplained mysteries across different cultures and landscapes. Eyewitness testimonies form just a part of the evidence, supporting the existence of the enigmatic creature known as the Rake. Alongside these first-hand accounts, there exists a wealth of physical evidence that further hints at the creature's reality. This evidence extends to instances where cameras and camcorders have managed to capture fleeting glimpses of the Rake, either skulking in the darkness or swiftly moving through the foliage. Although the quality of these images and videos is often subpar, with grainy and unclear visuals, they play a crucial role in the ever-expanding pool of proof that implies the tangible presence of the Rake in our world. This convergence of eyewitness reports and tangible evidence not only strengthens the case for the existence of the Rake, but also continues to intrigue and bewilder researchers. The behavior linked to the Rake, such as its inclination to silently follow its prey from the shadows and its uncanny ability to disappear mysteriously, is reminiscent of the tactics employed by various predators in the animal kingdom. The resemblance in behavior between the Rake and other well-known predators, ranging from large felines to stealthy hunters like the jaguarundi, provides substantial support for the notion that the Rake might genuinely exist as a cryptid creature. This similarity suggests a common predatory instinct shared among these creatures, hinting at a possible evolutionary or environmental rationale behind such behaviors. By drawing parallels with established predators, it becomes increasingly plausible that the Rake could be a legitimate entity, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, awaiting further exploration and study to unravel the secrets surrounding its existence. The enigmatic creature known as the Rake remains a captivating subject within the realm of cryptozoology, both intriguing and unsettling those who venture into its mysteries. While some may dismiss it as mere fiction or a figment of urban lore, the weight of compelling evidence and first-hand testimonies hints at the possibility of truth underlying the tales. Spanning across time, from ancient myths to contemporary sightings, the enduring presence of the Rake serves as a haunting testament to the enigmas that lurk in the unexplored realms of our world. Its elusive nature and uncanny encounters continue to fuel curiosity and fear, shedding light on the unfathomed secrets that await discovery in the shadowy recesses of our collective imagination.